bruh. I'm not saying that I'm happy about doing this again, but I'm not happy. It's all good. Ugh. It's all good. All right. Man, life is interesting. Life is an interesting thing. It's an interesting concept. It's multi-dimensional. It's simultaneous. It's weird. I'm in this place right now where I'm not exactly sure how to move forward. I don't entirely know what I want out of this life, and I'm not really sure how to necessarily conduct myself to move forward. And that is a lot. That's a lot for me. That's a lot for me to kind of handle. That's a lot for me to navigate. And I think the reason why I struggle so much is because I don't have to do anything. I don't really have any responsibilities outside myself. I don't have to answer to one. I don't have to take care of anybody. And that's a lot of responsibility for one person. That's a lot to ask of one person. And I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I believe in God, right? I believe in the God of Jesus. I believe in the God of Abraham and Ruth and Esther and Deborah and David and Paul and John and all of these phenomenal biblical people. But do I believe in my God? Do I believe that the same God that has blessed these amazing, incredible people will bless me? And not even in the same way, you know what I mean? I'm not even necessarily trying to get into anybody's book, or be spoken about for centuries on end, right? That for me necessarily doesn't matter. But will I be able to impact the lives that I'm supposed to impact? Will my actions and my heart, will it line up for what God has for me to fulfill his purpose of bringing people to him? And I don't know if I'm really doing that. I don't know if I'm actively doing that right now. I want to be. I hope that I would be, but it doesn't necessarily feel like I am, you know? And a lot of that, I think, does stem from a place of insecurity, a place of not necessarily loving myself, which is a whole other thing that I'm really trying to delve into right now, because I understand that love is at a crossroads, right? If love is a grid, there's the vertical relational aspect of love, of God loving you and you loving God, right? And for me, that low-key is the easy part. I'm totally here for my creator. You know what I mean? I love God. I love getting to know him, even though I struggle with a lot of the things that are in the Bible and the things of the religion. But I love God, and I love that I have access to him and his word, and I can ask for anything that I need, and be that it is within his will, he's going to give it to me, that is fantastic. That is the easier part for me. But then when you delve into to love others as you love yourself, that's where the disconnect comes for me. I love people. I love my mom. I love my brother. I love my family. I love my friends. I love meeting new people. I love encountering new cultures. I love eating other people's food. I love experiencing their worlds and hearing about people's passions and what they love. And I love seeing what people can do. I love seeing people's capacity for things. I love getting to know people. I love people. I absolutely love people. I love talking to people, all the things. It's that as yourself part that kind of is throwing this whole thing of like in an imbalance. Because I'm not there. I don't know if I'm in a place where I can boldly say that I love myself, you know. And I've been finding myself more recently in a place of like getting to know myself the way that God knows me and designed me and made me. And that's been rough. That I'm not even gonna lie. It's been rough. You know, the other day I had to just like look into the mirror and ask myself, like, who told you that you weren't beautiful? Who told you that you weren't worthy? Like, nobody's actually said those words to you. So where is that coming from? And, you know, I am a person that if I get stuck in my own mind, like my thoughts are my, you know, everyone has demons. Like, thoughts are my demon, you know. Being alone with my thoughts is my thing that I battle, is the thing that I fight with. And I'm just like incredibly humbled and honored that I have people in my life that can kind of back me up in those fights. But there have absolutely also been moments where they can't show up all the time. And though I know that God is always with me, He is all like His Spirit is with me right now as I speak. And sometimes He don't speak in a clear voice in those moments. And so it's like, how? Like, what do I do to navigate that? Like, what do I do to navigate these thoughts that are telling me that I'm worthless, that I'm not beautiful, that I'm not going to amount to anything, that I'm just not talented, that I'm not creative, that I'm not whatever. I'm not all these things, right? How do I navigate that? And like, you know, I've sought answers in God. I've sought answers in the Bible, but at the end of the, I've sought answers biblically. I've sought answers through the world, and like either way, I'm still alone at night with my thoughts. Like, no one can physically get in my brain for me, you know. And so yeah, so that's kind of where I'm trying to fight right now. And I'm not a fighter by nature. Like, I'm a words person. I will argue anybody, you know. I'll probably be arguing for the rest of my life. I love a good argument, but fighting, not necessarily my strong suit. And I'm glad that I have people in my life that are fighters that can teach me to fight. I'm not a fighter by nature. And so, though I'm in a stalemate position right now, there is always a way out. And there is always a way to move forward, and I'm looking forward to that. I can't say I'm excited about it, but I'm looking forward to it, you know, because it's a process, and processes aren't easy, and processes aren't always pretty. Sometimes they're difficult and hard, and it hurts, and that's a lot. That's a lot to deal with. That's a lot of emotions, and yeah, emotions, man. Man, emotions are hard. Those are the hard ones for me.